Top news: WNBA's highest-paid star could be Fever HC's answer to Caitlin Clark questions, says reporter. Over 100 players who took the floor in the 2025 season are now unrestricted free agents, setting the stage for player movement this league has never seen before. Of course, a new collective bargaining agreement still needs to be finalized before any deals can go down. But once that's done, it is going to be big. Big opportunity, rather, especially for teams desperate to fill some glaring gaps. Case in point, Caitlin Clark's Indiana Fever. The Fever's rollercoaster season came to a close with their Game 5 semifinal loss to the Las Vegas Aces. Despite battling a wave of injuries and relying on multiple hardship waiver signings, Indiana still managed to exceed expectations, finishing with a winning record and a playoff berth. But as much as everyone appreciates resilience, the real question is how this team thrives once Clark returns next season. Exactly what the no offseason, the Athletic Women's Basketball Show crew, Zena Keita, Sabrina Merchant, and Ben Pickman, discussed recently. Keita straight up said, "There is a difference between the Caitlin Clark version of the Fever and the version they had to cobble together. And that version worked well with Odyssey Sims and Kelsey Mitchell. But will it work well when Caitlin's back? So, missing that secondary guard position could be, okay, that makes sense as to what to look for during the free agent market." As of now, the Fever have just 3 players locked in for 2026: Clark, Aaliyah Boston, and Michaela Timpson. Meanwhile, Lexi Hull, restricted free agent, and Sophie Cunningham, unrestricted free agent, have both expressed interest in returning, and Kelsey Mitchell, unrestricted free agent, is Indiana's #1 priority this offseason, rightfully so after the kind of season she has had. The buzz, however, is about adding a forward who can stretch the floor, someone who can create more space for Clark on the perimeter and give Boston room to work inside. Still, that secondary guard remains essential. When Keita asked her co-host Ben if he had anyone in mind, he didn't hesitate. "In terms of guards, I mean, like, if I'm them, I'm making whatever the equivalent of the biggest plea I can for Jackie Young. Like, I don't think I would expect her to leave, right?" he said. But she is an Indiana native. She played at Notre Dame. If you can ever try and lure someone out of the Las Vegas Aces ecosystem, that is a player that I'm certainly going after, making the biggest swing I can. The Aces title-winning trio is the tip of the iceberg in this year's free agent class. While Chelsea Gray and Aya Wilson seem likely to stay put, with both eligible to be cored, Jackie Young hasn't clearly stated her intentions yet. She's hinted at bringing it back, which favors her staying, but she changed agents last offseason and is now the only member of the Aces core: Wilson, Gray, Jewel Lloyd, and even coach Becky Hammon, not represented by Clutch Sports. As the highest-paid player in the WNBA with an annual average salary of $252,450, a max contract offer from Indiana could shake things up for the two-way wing. It's unlikely, sure, but imagine if it actually happened. And well, if not Jackie, there's always a chance another one from Indiana finds her way home to the Fever. Caitlin Clark and company could bring back more than one Indiana star. The 2026 WNBA draft is still months away, and with a new CBA agreement yet to be finalized, there's plenty left to sort out before any selections are made. But that doesn't change that the next year's class is absolutely loaded. At the top of the board, you've got potential franchise changers like Lauren Betts, Azzi Fudd, Flau'jae Johnson, and Olivia Miles, all expected to fly off early. Yet this draft runs so deep that real impact players could still be sitting there well into the late first round, and even into the second. That's exactly where the Indiana Fever might find themselves in a sweet spot, holding the number 10 pick and a chance to bring back a familiar face: Yarden Garzon. The 6'3" sharpshooting guard spent 3 years with the Indiana Hoosiers before making a surprise transfer to Big Ten rivals Maryland. Garzon led the conference in three-point percentage as a freshman in 2022-23, and over her NCAA career, she's hit an impressive 42.6% from deep. That kind of range and height would make her an ideal complement to Fever's young core, aligning perfectly with Indiana's goal of surrounding their young stars with consistent perimeter shooters. If the Fever end up losing any of their guards or don't land a major name in free agency, Garzon could be the perfect cost-effective fit. There are no concrete plans yet, but once the free agency dust settles and the draft approaches, don't be surprised if Indiana looks home for its next big shooter.